Good? All right.
Good morning.
Start off with that traditional, not good morning. Why good morning? 3-4 languages. Anybody can please start off with me? Marhaba.
Namaste.
Namaste bhi aa jayega. Chalo, we do the conventional that I do. We do salam. Walaikum salam. Marhaba. Namaste. Salamat pagi.
Salamat pagi.
Pagalpan nahi hai ye. Anyway, see, today's session is something. Sorry.
Доброе утро.
Как дела?
No.
No.
Доброе утро. Доброе утро.
Dubra. Okay. By and large, we will have at least 10 names. You are next. So we need to do that every day because obviously a global company, so we do the global greetings. Thank you for teaching me. I'm going to note that down for next time. Go ahead. Loudly, yaar. Subhadeh like Subha. Sana is like sunny. So sunny good morning. Am I right?
Sri Lanka.
Right? How do you do in UK?
Good morning.
Done. Okay, this topic that we have on today is pretty much with everybody. I'm sure we're all using Facebook. I'm not going to go into a small monologue here because most of the information that I've put across is pretty generic. Before we do this, everyone is having the mobile. Small interactive, if I may. Please take out your mobile, switch on your Facebooks. Probably most of you have already done it, but still type in IQI Global. IQI Global. You can do IQI Australia, you can do IQI Canada, IQI Thailand, IQI Vietnam, and probably 2 others, IQI Cambodia. Am I missing? Thank you. IQI Australia. Australia comes WA, by the way. We just stick to the first basic, our mothership, if I may say so, IQI Global. Are you all getting it?
IQI Global.
Okay, you got it. IQI Global. Just, if you can, click on the follow button. Don't close it, just click on it, and if you can, give me a... Alrighty, good.
It is IQI Dubai.
No, IQI Global for now. We do IQI Global for now. Should you want to do IQI Dubai, by all means do so. The idea behind this, the Facebook strategy that we are going to just very, very lightly touch on. First step essentially will happen what you have done right now with our particular company. The objective is that essentially every single person, one of you, will have your own Facebook pages, your own Facebook entities, and you would want people to come onto your pages and like them and so on. Alright? The reason why you did the likes over here is, again, tomorrow any activity which happens onto that page, any engrossing participation that the group is asking you to do, you will be a part of it. Should you choose, you can be actively participating. Same thing is what now a lot of people are doing individually. They are doing it through their personal pages, they are doing it through public pages. You'll see in the end, this process for me has been a good 2 years. So it's not something which is going to happen at the snap of a finger. It's going to be different for every individual here. All right, but at least once you do these interactive like sessions or following buttons, what happens? The entity or the page, obviously they will know that there's a new subscriber, there's a new person who's following us or following me. Then it comes into a give and take scenario. You will give back to the same individual should they want you to like their page. Again, teamwork on a global level. So that's just one of the introduction that I wanted to put across. This one here, like I said, it can be used in 2 particular scenarios. Every one of you have your own individual pages. I know there is a lot of personal pages that we all keep. We obviously want to keep it limited to a particular number of people, friends, families, and so on. That's absolutely good. Some people would want to use their own personal pages for the purpose of promoting their line of work, Once you've reached a certain level, then you go on to a public domain and you create a public profile, and then you do a lot of work to maintain and grow your public profile. All right. So simply putting it, 7 steps Facebook is just basics. I'm sure maybe before I in fact go ahead, are any one of you using Facebook as of now, apart from social media, for marketing, for driving sales, for anything related to your work? Not really, no problem. Reading is good for us, so that's why I'm keeping it. See, again, very simply, SMEs, small medium enterprises, that is one segment. If you recall the last session we had, I had given you one slide where I showed you the percentage of potential increase happening on social media platforms. Could you remember which are the first 2 platforms which had the maximum increase?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
No.
Instagram and
Facebook, Instagram.
Thank you, madam. Facebook and Instagram. We had about 500% plus global jump on Facebook, and the next one was about 380% on Instagram. Facebook is number 4. It's falling up, but it will take a while. Sorry, LinkedIn. Okay, now here basically the thing here, you need to pay attention to the content of your ads. That's again something which will go into details. Very quickly putting it across, these are the simple goals that you need to be looking at. Initially, what are your goals? What do you plan to do with your page? Personal, or eventually down the road, public. Who is your target audience? Are you targeting people in Sri Lanka? Are you targeting people in India or Russia or Dubai or Philippines or anywhere? You will have to derive it slowly. Then obviously you will have to grow the particular crowd for that particular audience, and then you will have to engage that audience, and then you will have to drive the content. So it's an ongoing process. A lot of people in the UAE, if I may be very blunt, they hire people from outside to do this job, right? So that's a separate industry which is being set up here. Perfectly fine. But now this is going to go into a gray area. When you do sales, you do leads generation and leads targeting and everything, there are a lot of places where we are not entirely satisfied. Maybe you have a particular area which you want to concentrate on more. Maybe you have a particular budgeting that you want to allocate for an off-plan project, and so on and so on and so on. So there are a lot of variants. Over here, rather than employing an outsider and giving them an X amount of money and telling them, please go ahead, you do your magic and give us half-cooked leads, fully cooked leads or closures, which again may or may not happen. So the idea that we do in IQI is grow your own business, learn different aspects of it. I'm sure there are many of you do not even know, perhaps you have a inbred talent to do something like this a whole lot more better than a lot of people. So it's an ongoing process again. Again, budgeting, like I said, either you do it externally or you do it internally. You have to have a budget in plan. After that, the content, then you do the engagements, then you do the monitoring and so on. Like I said, it's not going to take too long. First step, set your goals. They have to be SMART, meaning they have to be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and they have to be time bound. When you run a particular campaign, when you run a particular promotion ad about yourself perhaps, or when you run a particular drive, you have to be aware of the timings, you have to be aware of the areas you're targeting, you have to be aware of, again, the content that you've actually created, in which particular language. So there are a lot of modalities that you will learn. Obviously, once you do it, it's going to look pretty odd. You're going to feel, my God, I need to delete this right now. I don't want anybody to see it. But keep it on. Keep it on. At any given point of time during the day, if you're feeling really bored, you've got nothing to do in your life, click on my page and go on to probably 3 years ago. And you'll see the amount of shitty videos I've been making initially. So you'll realize how the process moves ahead. Okay, so the first step again is that you need to strategize individually. That's where probably IQI will come on board. We will help you, we will assist you in trying to figure out what strategy should work the best for every individual. Or even, second thing which I forgot to point out, when you all clicked on that particular page, see, this is one mindset that we have over here. Uh, Honestly, we do a lot of support systems for all the team around us, within us, be it in Malaysia, be it in Dubai, or any other country. So whenever any particular agent from our sides, even if it's a different language, Chinese, Cambodian, they put up a post or a video, we ensure that we support them. We give them that leverage by putting up a simple like. Or if we know the person, we know about the content, we give them another input, at least a positive input. So same thing then replicates and comes back to us. So that's how you start your leveraging aspect of it. And when you start doing leveraging with a clear intent, automatically the people around you, they will appreciate it, they will support you. And when they'll give you another response, the number of people in their circle will also come to see you. So where you are having currently maybe just 500 friends on Facebook, this lady here has maybe 2,000. If she does one interaction with you, there is a potential of those 2,000 approximate audience to come and see who you are and what you are doing and how are you guys engaging, if it's on the same platform. So again, you have to work out the specifics. It's not something you'll get the first time. Even if after 3 years you'll have to keep on modulating and changing which parameters you want to be concentrating on. Measure it. How are you going to measure it? Are you going to monetize it? Are you going to measure it in terms of what sort of presence are you actually generating in your particular field? If you're working in Dubai Hills, if you're working in Palm, there are other people there. You would have seen on LinkedIn, there are a lot of old players now who have shifted towards social media. So let's build it up with them. There are a lot of people who are doing it in Arabic languages, and they're doing it very well. I've seen some of them, I've met some of them, and I really appreciate the way they have added on this particular features to their selling mechanism. So anyways, again, if you are smart enough to figure out these basics, you will probably be not getting frustrated. You will know if your strategy is working or not, or what improvement needs to be done. That improvement perhaps you can do on a weekly basis, maybe on a month-line basis, entirely up to you how you do it. Again, what I just mentioned in a nutshell, your audience is your key. You need to establish a contact with your audience. You need to grow their confidence, you need to engage them. And once that particular audience is pinpointed, and I'm not talking about schoolhood friends, I'm not talking about ex-boyfriend, girlfriends, family members, that's your core, leave them aside. You are going into the digital aspect to grow and generate. This is your core, it's going to be there whether you do nothing at all, still they'll be in touch with you or not in touch with you either way. So if you don't categorize that, then basically it's going to be a waste of time. If it helps, fine, otherwise I'll just flip out across. You just have to know how to find them. This is a trial and error method. There is no fixed formula. If it was, maybe I'll not be sitting here, I'll be having a cigar and relaxing in the Bahamas. Alright, so it's a trial and error method. It keeps on going every time. You will do a lot of interaction amongst yourself. Should you develop that communication, it will help you. Why? Because you ran a particular campaign yesterday, you plan on doing something on Monday, you maybe do something on the weekend, so you guys can hopefully strategize together. That's another aspect. So your internal, from your aspect again, there's a lot of potential there. We can discuss that. Before we do that, money talks. So you need to figure out, are you going to be spending $10, 10 dirhams, $100, 100 dirhams on one campaign, on a timeline? What? How are you going to do it? Bear in mind, these are all strategies which you can probably do a little bit on your personal pages, but essentially they go on to your public page. That's when you start putting in a lot of money and doing a lot of funneling and setting up a lot of bots. And we'll go to that stage again, hopefully next time. But this is just a basic of what you should know, how this strategy evolves. Okay, please remember this line. Facebook is not about socializing and making everybody happy. It is a very, very money oriented platform. Probably 10 times more than the portals here who we give money to, and they give us 10 leads, 10 listings and all that. It's 10 times more money oriented in a good way. Means that if you understand the algorithms which are running it, if you can somehow figure them out to optimize for your particular campaign, for your particular profile, you feed in a little bit of money. There's a word which you use, organic growth or organically. That's what you need to be starting off with. Then the second stage is when you set up your budgets and then you move ahead with that. The biggest headache you'll face is this. What do you talk about? We are salespeople, we are not script writers. If we were script writers, we'll be sitting in Hollywood. But unfortunately, now you'll have to be script writers. For what's it worth, I made this slide myself. There was no need for me to do so, but I did it. Why? Because at least I will know, fine, have I done this particular thing in the last maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years or not? If I did it give me any benefit? Did it not give me any leverage at all? And so on. So you have to figure out your content. My perspective on something will automatically be different from you and you and you. So that's the beauty of it. When you will build up your content, it will come from your experience, from your understanding of certain things, and that's the viewpoint you put out across to the public domain. And before you know it, there will be a lot of people similar to you who will connect, and then the momentum picks up from there. Again, I mentioned here budget planning along with the content. You can't just go la 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 la, oops, we fell down. You have to basically have a certain time frame in mind. Should you need to be spending money, which eventually we will have to, you have to figure out at what particular point do I start spending money and what particular point do I stop. And then how does that help me ahead? Just one particular tip. We are all related to real estate. Please do not make everything that you post online about real estate. People will get sick and tired about it. I'll be posting a video probably tomorrow or day after. It's on my YouTube channel and it will also come on Facebook. If you have the time, have a look. It's just to specify this. It's got pretty much, well, it's got something to do with real estate but different. Why am I doing it? A, I need to be consistent. B, I need to make sure that the content I'm putting up is actually of some interest, of some entertainment value, some informational value to people who are observing. Same thing again. Plan, plan, plan. You will have to set up a schedule. These algorithms on Facebook help you do that. You will have to set up time aside. Maybe in the night when you sit down and watch Netflix, shut down Netflix, start this. And you will have to figure out from where you get your time, because you need to do engagements of advertisements. Advertisements happen on your public page, not on your personal page. Personal pages, which you all are currently having, you can either evolve them or you can set up a separate personal page. Bear in mind, let's say you have how many friends on Facebook approximately?
I don't know, maybe 300.
You don't even, maybe
I'm
about,
more on Instagram than on Facebook.
okay, that's good. But then you would have how many followers there? Probably about 200 odd, 300, 500.
1,000 something.
Good. See, this is how the algorithm is different. Instagram, we'll do that on another presentation. It allows people to follow you. Facebook, on the other hand, is supposedly more interactive, so you do friends, you connect. Again, both are working quite well, but both are working quite well for different audiences. Maybe you'll do good on Instagram, maybe you'll do good on Facebook, maybe you'll do fantastic on LinkedIn. It all depends on how you do it. Again, content and advertisements, very close connection, so that's how you work on that. I'll slip onto that. This is something you will all face a lot of times, so that's why you will have to figure out which phone do I keep, which selfie camera is the best. And like you were asking me, what is that stick doing and what is that doing? This is all a portion of this. If I'll show you, this is my goodie bag. This is my social media bag. So I've got a whole lot of stuff inside which I use from time to time depending on which particular shoot or which particular content I want to create. Again, this is something which I built up over the past maybe year. Why? Because I did some in the past, initial videos, I thought, okay, the quality is not good. Then the audience which is potentially going to be looking in, they will not be interested. So you try and basically improve yourself every single time. This is one thing which I felt was very, very imperative on Facebook, because a lot of people, when they go onto videos, they don't want sound. They don't want sound, they just want to look. So visually it has to be snapping, it has to be attractive enough. Then if you have the know-how, you can even put in subtitles very quickly. So it takes a lot of process in learning how to do all of that. But when you do it to a certain level, then your audiences automatically start appreciating. Monitoring, like we used to do in class, you need to monitor what is your algorithm, what is your particular campaign doing for you, and then tweak it as and when need be. So once you've planned it, once you add the creative, then once the budgeting has been set, then you need to start off with the monitoring bit on your own. Again, why would you want to do it on your own? Because you're doing it for your own business. If you're going to sit here and let Mr. X or Madam Y do it for you, they can do it for you, yes, but will they do it as per your mindset? Maybe yes, maybe no. Will they do it as per 20 people's mindset? I don't think so. So the idea is generate your own business, and then when you're doing it, this is one quick example of how Domino's responds to people in terms of any complaints or feedback coming in. I got a feedback yesterday for this particular session today. There were some people who wanted to join up and be a part of this session. I said next time, because this is in-house right now. But it's reached to that position that people are actually approaching me that they want to be a part of it. I just told one of your colleagues, when I did it initially, the first one I did, I had just one person sitting in front, and that was myself. That's fine. It's a process. You have to start at one stage and then you go ahead. Okay, split test is something I'll close off with, but this is just, if you can take a little bit extra time, I'll just go through it first. It's just a method of comparing a version of a web page or an app against each other to determine which one is better. In this scenario, the split or the bucket testing is what you do when you run two particular contents together, or when you have an Instagram or a Facebook and you put the similar ads on those two particular platforms and see how they work together. This one essentially is just for Facebook, but when you take it to a slightly more vast level, you can go onto different platforms as well. But for now, we just stick to Facebook. So again, it's an experiment where you have two or more variants of a page shown to the users at random, and statistical analysis is used to determine which variation performs better for a conversion goal. When you are running a campaign for a particular apartment, so you will run it with two different mindsets. You can either run it as a holiday home, or you can run it as a normal rental, perhaps. You will run it with two particular budgeting scenarios. Let's keep them the same. Then you filter down to the target audience. Then you filter down to the particular areas that you want to run it through. Then you run those ads, perhaps at the same time or different timings. Once those cycles are completed, then you'll come to know, fine, this is which has performed how and what is the benefit I got. So then next time round, when I have something similar, I would probably have some sort of a statistical data in hand that this is genuinely how it may run. There's another variant on that, but I'll not complicate it too much. So essentially, again, split test is where you have to learn to optimize. That's what I was saying. Once one run has been done, you cannot rely on sticking to that same formula for the next full year. That's not how Facebook works, or any online engine will work. It will keep on optimizing, because the variables which you are targeting will keep on growing, keep on changing. So your marketing has to keep on changing. It's very engaging, it's very engrossing, and the benefits that you can potentially get from it are not simply monetizations. There's a lot of ways that if you are an area specialist, if you are probably looking at branding yourself for a particular product or a service, so that's where these formulas or these mechanisms come into place. Because again, the effective Facebook marketing is very, very heavily reliant on you able to figure out that this is my niche market. This is where I need to be optimizing all my spending, and hopefully this is from where I'll either be able to generate business or followers or representation. And then again, which type of content actually click with your audience, so then you will know you need to replicate it again, at what frequency, and keep on going with that. Right?
Thank you.
Any question, guys? Thank you.